Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Since Regis Prograis lost to Josh Taylor back in 2019, he's been inactive. He had a comeback win against a previously undefeated fighter by the name of Juan Heraldez. Stopped him in only 3 rounds. Then he fought, I think that was in 2020. Then in 2021, he fought Ivan Redkach, stopped him in 6, stopped Tyrone McKenna in 6 back in March of this year. Well, he's now a 2-time super lightweight champ. He picked up the vacant WBC title with an 11th round KO of JOSE Zepeda. This was a grueling, grinding fight, which I kind of get the impression that, if I'm being honest, I kind of get the feeling that Zepeda was allowed to be. He clawed his way back into the fight, and Prograis kind of allowed him to get back into it when really he should have been dominating consistently. But I got the feeling that Prograis, because he was in Zepeda's territory, because he was in his backyard, and they all booed him going to the ring, the crowd did, and Zepeda was the hometown favourite. I got the feeling Prograis was said to himself, do you know what? I'm not going to leave anything to chance. If I have to fight this guy in a phone booth, I'll do it. I could stay on the outside and pick up the points, but I might get robbed. So I'm going to have a row with this guy. And certainly at the start, the first round was close. I think I gave the first round to Zepeda. Prograis was really just having a look at Zepeda. And in the second round, it suddenly changed. It flipped on its head because Prograis suddenly was a full step ahead of anything Zepeda did. They were both southpaws, so the backhand is the left hand. But Prograis was winning these early rounds on the jab, and Zepeda was just too upright. He was bolt upright. He didn't move his upper body much, so he didn't move his head much. His hands were way too low, and Prograis was just able to control the range totally and pick him off. And that's what he was doing for the first 6 rounds, maybe. He picked the guy off. Zepeda was a step behind. He got cut. There was a slashing, so I think it was an overhand right, if memory serves. I've only watched this fight once, so I haven't watched it back, so I may have some of these details wrong. But it was a slashing overhand right that opened a cut over Zepeda's eye. And Zepeda looked, odds on to be sort of whitewashed. I did give him the first round, which was a close round, sort of a reconnaissance missions for Prograis. But the rest of the fight, certainly round 6, 7, up to round 6 and 7, it was all Prograis. And then suddenly Zepeda started to sort of claw his way back in. And we all know Zepeda's got heavy hands. He's got a lot of knockouts on his record. This was his 3rd world title shot. He's lost the previous 2. And he was desperate to win this one. And he kind of so much guts, Zepeda. We saw that against, that crazy fight he had with, who was that now? There was a multi-knockdown fight with Baranchik. Ivan Baranchik, wasn't it? It was 5th round knockout. And I'm sure, if memory serves, Zepeda was on the floor at least twice in that fight. And it right up until the final punch, no one really knew who was going to win that fight. But anyway, this was a very different fight to that. But I think the fact that Zepeda is so battle-hardened, really, he was able to sort of take on this sort of mountainous task of, being a mile behind, certainly beyond the halfway point of this fight. And he clawed his way back in just through sheer will. And Prograis, again, who could have stuck to his boxing, could have kept on jabbing. Instead, he said, okay, you want to go in the trenches, I'll go with you. And he kind of allowed, it was a calculated gamble, because he allowed, he was allowing Zepeda a chance to win. But at the same time, Prograis was also increasing his chance of not just outboxing Zepeda, but knocking him out. And there were some moments when, in the second, probably the last 4 rounds, where Zepeda was landing some meaty punches, and in fact, Prograis in the 10th round, certainly he took a real battering. Blood coming out of his nose. He had a bleeding ear. I don't know whether it was internal or external. If it was a popped eardrum, of course, that would have affected his equilibrium and his balance and so on. But Zepeda was he's so brave. He just, through tooth and claw, he got back into the fight. But of course, if you put that much effort in, you leave yourself vulnerable ultimately. And so it proved in the 11th round, because with only a minute gone, Prograis nailed Zepeda flush with an overhand left, I think. More of an overhand left than a left cross. And it landed bang on the button. And Zepeda staggered back to the ropes, and Prograis smelt blood and just chased the guy. I mean, straight onto the ropes. Bang, 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 bang. Zepeda got sort of tangled up. His right arm was tangled in the ropes. He couldn't. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Larry Holmes against Mike Tyson, where he went to throw a hook and his arm got caught in the ropes. But Prograis was over Zepeda like, you know, the proverbial sauce over spaghetti, and battered him. And then the referee stepped in to stop the fight. This was in the 11th round, only a minute gone, just as Zepeda was sliding down the adjacent ropes onto his side. No room to complain. I mean, he was trapped, he was getting battered, he didn't know where he was, and Prograis picked up his second world title. For Zepeda, who's had so many wars, is such a courageous guy. I wonder if he's going to be one of those nearly men. He's had 3 shots at the title. None of it's come, you know, he just hasn't been able to get over the finishing line, so to speak. But what a tremendously savage war this was. You know, it's weird because it started off the first 4 rounds, like I say, maybe the first half of the fight, one-way traffic. But then gradually, Zepeda just managed to muscle his way back into it. Yeah, a bloody war this was, an absolutely bloody war. But well done to Regis Prograis, 2-time world champ, got the WBC belt. Yeah, you know, big fights ahead of him. And he was very complimentary towards Zepeda, as he should be. He was saying, you know, this is my toughest fight, and you are such a tough guy, and all of it's true. Yeah, but Zepeda's got a lot of miles on the clock. I wonder if he's got enough left to finally get that world title. But for Prograis, he's back in the game. He's 33, Prograis, which I thought he was younger, but he isn't. And I think Zepeda's about 32. So these are not particularly young guys, especially for that one of the lower weights. But such other things that dreams are made of, you know. So yeah, this was on, I can't remember what it was. Was it on, in the UK, I think it was on something called Fight TV, whatever the hell that is. FITE, Fight TV. I watched it using other methods, as I say. And it's a good fight. If they repeat it on YouTube, if they have it, I'll stick it on YouTube or Daily Motion. Go and have a look at it. Good fight. What did you think if you saw it? Leave your comments below. What do you think about Prograis? What's his next step? Zepeda, has he got anything left? Leave your comments below. I always enjoy reading your comments. Thank you for watching the video. Like the video if you liked it. Just hit the like button. And of course, subscribe if you're new. You'll help the channel out immensely by doing that. We've got lots of great videos for you. As always, thanks for your time. In the UK, it's now well into Sunday, so I'm going to go to bed now. But yeah, enjoy your Sunday wherever you are. Happy Thanksgiving to my American friends. Nice one. Take care of yourselves. We'll speak again soon. Bye for now.